When it comes to Naruto What Ifs, there are dozens upon dozens of potential scenarios where alternate universes could play out. Basically, there's a whole Naruto Multiverse out there. One change alters the timeline and presents multiple scenarios that can occur as a result, and depending on which choice is made by certain characters, it can go for better or it can go for worse. Anyone who's seen one of the 53 What Ifs I've done on this channel knows that there's almost an even 50-50 split between Kaguya winning or the timeline ending up much better than it did originally. However, out of all the what ifs that I've done, there's never been one what if as big as this one right here. What if Orochimaru succeeded in taking over Itachi's body? I've already done a what if for what if Orochimaru took Sasuke's body and what if Orochimaru kidnapped Sasuke during the Chunin exams, but this one is the equivalent of basically giving Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet so he can go collect the Infinity Stones. So in today's edition of Naruto What If, we're gonna take a look at this very scenario. Like always, in order for this to happen, we first need to establish a trigger point where the actual change would occur. In this instance, there's only really one time where Orochimaru could have taken Itachi's body, and that's when he originally tried to take 14-year-old Itachi's body. Originally, when Orochimaru tried to do this, Itachi immediately one-shot Orochimaru. However, in this timeline, Orochimaru would succeed in taking over Itachi's body, which would be our first major fork in the road. Does Orochimaru attempt to remain with the Akatsuki, or does he go on the run? In my opinion, road number one is an absolute no-go. Not only would that destroy any trust that he had with the group, but there's no way in hell that Obito would sit by and allow someone as dangerous as Orochimaru to get the Sharingan. Instead, Orochimaru would immediately take his new body and flee to one of his hideouts. Given Orochimaru was able to hide out well enough to avoid detection for countless years, I don't think that he would be discovered. This serves as a temporary setback to the Akatsuki. This will be the Akatsuki losing two of its most powerful members in healthy Itachi as well as Orochimaru. But I do believe that Obito would still go on to recruit Kisame to join the Akatsuki. As for the second member to replace Orochimaru, that's going to become very tricky. So Akatsuki doesn't just grab any random missing ninja to join their ranks. That leaves Obito with two major options. Option one, place Zetsu as Kisame's partner until a suitable S-rank ninja pops up available to be recruited, or option two, Obito pretends to be Tobi and joins the group early. In my opinion, Kisame is likely partnered up with Tobi since that makes the most sense, especially since Obito was the one who actually recruited him. From here, we don't have any major changes that occur for quite a while. So Akatsuki still operates in the shadows, taking on mercenary work. Sasuke still continues going through the academy, and the major change that occurs is Orochimaru likely begins doing aggressive experiments on Itachi's body to further maximize the new host body that he has, meaning that Orochimaru inside of healthy Itachi's body is going to get a pretty decent power boost. We saw what effect Orochimaru's drugs had on Sasuke. Tsunade flat out said that Orochimaru was likely given 15-and-a-half-year-old Sasuke drugs to boost his abilities, which is pretty crazy to think how crazy strong Orochimaru in Itachi's body could actually be. You have to remember that time skip Sasuke was taking out Yamato, who was being hyped up as an elite Jonin at the time, and he absolutely one-shot Team 7. I believe that Orochimaru would take the next few years experimenting in order to beef up Itachi's body in full preparation to crush Konoha. The way he would do so is the before mentioned enhancement drugs as well as Hashirama cells. I do believe that he waited until the Chunin exams to slip inside of Konoha in order to do two things. Number one, read through Uchiha Clan's stone tablet with Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. By this point, things would get even trickier. Orochimaru will be at year 2 of his 3-year limit while inside of his body using the living corpse jutsu. Now, because Orochimaru hasn't been shown cloning until the events of Naruto Gaiden, where there's almost 20 years of time between the Chunin exams and Naruto Gaiden, I don't believe that Orochimaru is going to have that capability to actually clone. However, upon reading the Uchiha Clan Stone Tablet, he'd know that he would need to kidnap Sasuke, and it'd be for a few different reasons. Obviously, he would need an Uchiha body to maximize the Sharingan that he has in Itachi's body. Next, Itachi's body would be better suited to battle the third Hokage at the time being, especially now that Orochimaru would have made that body stronger, and so he could save Sasuke's body for later. I believe that Orochimaru will obviously choose violence in the most extreme way here. Orochimaru will still pretend to be a participant in the exam exams and encounter Sasuke in the Forest of Death in order to give him the curse mark. However, where I see another change occurring is during the 1 month between the end of the preliminaries and the final round. At this point, I see no reason why Orochimaru just wouldn't go yank Sasuke from Kakashi, which isn't too crazy since Sasuke was late to the final rounds. When that happened, everyone considered the possibility that Orochimaru had taken him. It will be from here that the following scene would occur.
Right, shall we begin? Your evil plot stops here.
You want to kill me? Go ahead and try.
Sure, why not?
So, should we get started?
It's my turn now.
You're not even worth toying with.
Let's see how strong you've got. Give it up. What lies in your future is defeat. Lightning blade!
Not bad. Do yourself a favor and just give in.
So, after yanking Sasuke, things will play out a little bit differently. First, I do believe that Orochimaru would show Sasuke Kakashi's death in order to make him awaken the Mangekyo, and then Orochimaru would transplant Sasuke's eyes into his own in order to unlock EMS inside of Itachi's body. After that, Orochimaru would have had Sasuke kept in a test tube at the hideout as the second Uchiha body to use once Itachi's body has reached the 3-year limit and Orochimaru can no longer inhibit it. Next, the third Hokage will follow through with his original threat to disqualify Sasuke from the Chunin exams after he doesn't show up. Then Orochimaru would eventually attack the third Hokage, and that's where our major changes occur. Originally, Orochimaru needed to scheme with the Sand Village. I don't think that Orochimaru would have to go that far in this timeline. I believe he'd outright kill the fourth Kazekage in order to impersonate him, simply for the purpose of being on the platform with Hiruzen Sarutobi, just so he could actually kill him. Due to the chaos of the invasion and the Sand Village not being on good terms with Konoha at that time, Team Baki, which basically is the Sand siblings and Baki, they would flee from the Hidden Leaf Village. At this point, Hiruzen would be dead long before Jiraiya ever arrived at the village like he did in the original invasion. Orochimaru was already decent enough that he was able to keep up with older Hiruzen in battle, but giving him Itachi's body, the advantages of the Sharingan, the buff that Orochimaru would get from the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, a perfect Susanoo that has the Tosca blade and the Yata mirror, as well as the beads that Itachi uses, and add in all the insane jutsu that Orochimaru already knows that he'd be able to use inside of Itachi's body. Hiruzen Sarutobi is taken out very fast in this scenario. Between Orochimaru summoning the Edo Tensei first and second Hokage and Edo Tensei Kakashi, it will be an absolute slaughter of anyone who fought back at this point. I believe before Guy could even use the 8th gate, Orochimaru just one-shot Guy using Tsukiyomi, which wouldn't be too crazy. Guy would not know that Orochimaru had the Sharingan at that point until it was actually revealed, because Konoha wouldn't have that intel, and if this is the case, by the time Guy realizes that Orochimaru has Sharingan, he would essentially be taken out. Also, because Itachi's Tsukiyomi was suggested by Kakashi in the manga to be strong enough to kill somebody, and in the second Itachi light novel, Itachi's Story Midnight, it was actually used to kill people during the Uchiha Massacre. It's possible that Guy dies right away if Orochimaru is bloodlusted. Next, Orochimaru would destroy Danzo and leave Konoha smoldering, with the only people who survived are the people who were evacuated at the start of the invasion, and Konoha is likely crippled in a major way. Given that Naruto would likely be stuck in the stands, he would have been under Kabuto's genjutsu along with the other Konoha rookies minus Shikamaru and Sakura. However, I do believe that Sakura and Shikamaru would be smart enough to know that they stand no chance in a battle this large, and so they would continue to kind of play like they're asleep in order to not get dragged into the battle. It would be at this point a major change would occur. While Jiraiya tried to talk Tsunade into returning to Konoha to become the Hokage, Orochimaru would take advantage of having Itachi's body still healthy for another half year and begin the process of hunting down the Akatsuki, who, according to Jiraiya, had just begun to split up into pairs. Given that Kabuto was a spy for the Akatsuki working under Sasori, setting up a meeting with Data and Sasori would be easy enough. Orochimaru would likely destroy the team, keeping one of them alive long enough to use genjutsu on them in order to find the next location of the team. At some point after this, after Orochimaru's killed the Akatsuki members, Obito would send the 6 Paths of Pain in order to deal with Orochimaru, which becomes very interesting at this point. Orochimaru and EMS Itachi's body with the enhancement drugs and Hashirama cells, plus being able to summon Edo Tenseis of the first 3 Hokages, Kakashi Hatake, and Might Guy would be more than enough to take down the 6 Paths of Pain. If an idiot like Jiraiya and an even bigger idiot in Naruto could figure out that the pains were being controlled and ultimately take them down, I believe that Orochimaru would do so as well, and I think he'd do so a lot faster, at which point Orochimaru would kill Nagato and Konan, but this is where our next major change would occur. Orochimaru would know that Nagato's eyes were the Rinnegan, and he would have seen it up close and personal in battle. There's no way in hell that Orochimaru doesn't get greedy and snatch the Rinnegan right out of Nagato's dead corpse. Even if you believe that Orochimaru wouldn't be able to use both Rinnegan with Itachi's amped up body, Orochimaru with just one Rinnegan is absolutely scary. He'd still be able to use all 6 paths jutsu, and by the time that Obito came for him, Orochimaru would destroy Obito in a battle, effectively making the Uchiha clan extinct, and then Orochimaru would then turn Zetsu into soil fertilizer. At this point, Orochimaru would be on rival and kill each of the 5 Kage, likely starting with Tsunade during the 3 months that exist in the original timeline where Sasuke beat Naruto and Naruto left to go train with Jiraiya. Tsunade would be brutally killed, as would Jiraiya. Both of them would then become the first 2 of the 6 Paths of Pain for Orochimaru. Naruto would be captured and Orochimaru would just blow up the village like Pain did, only this time it'd be for shits and giggles. The other Kages would soon fall, being killed in front of the citizens, and Orochimaru will make the other 4 Kages his remaining 6 Paths of Pain. At which point Orochimaru would rule the world as a tyrant, with the only time that someone could even attempt to kill him would be during the time that he needs to change a body, which at this point Orochimaru would have already switched into Sasuke's body after taking Sasuke out the test tube and placing Itachi's EMS into one eye and the Rinnegan into the other. As if Orochimaru would seal away the Biju, since he would have read through Uchiha Clan's stone tablet that Zetsu messed with. I don't think that Orochimaru would do so. However, I do think that he would have the Biju extracted from the Jinchuriki and sealed away. The reason I don't think that he would use the Infinite Tsukuyomi is that he would have already had a Rinnegan and control over the entire world, so he'd be able to touch as many little boys as he wanted to and cut them up for experiments as he saw fit. No one would be able to oppose him. The only reason I could see him even going as far as to becoming the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki is out of mere curiosity, but I'll leave that up to you guys. So let me know down in the comment section, do you think that Orochimaru would be able to inevitably survive a battle with Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Urashiki 18 years later down in the timeline? And if you think that he does survive that battle, let me know down in the comment section. Do you think it's possible that a hero, a savior, could somehow rise through the ranks and take down Orochimaru during this time? Perhaps our goddess and savior Lady Tenten shall rise from the ashes and take down Orochimaru in this timeline. But so always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.